631-0864. Station's your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right? So much success that you have more than one place to be.
5-3, touchdown, Oregon.
Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at the University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Swing and a miss. Oregon is headed to the Super Regional.
Fans being out there making this a great impact.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Today's top story, according to one Alex Stimson, is just sports. It's a good place to start. Sports, Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack. Thanks for joining us. 8 o'clock kickoff against UCLA. I've started to condition myself this week. Went to bed at 2:30 this morning. That's a long story that we won't tell on the air, but for the 1% of our audience that understands that, you all get it. We're conditioning ourselves for an 8 o'clock kick. In fact, I was just talking to the voice of the Bruins, Josh Lewin, about this. We'll have the full interview with Josh for you on the show on Thursday. And he said that it's been like 30 years since they've had an 8 o'clock kickoff in Los Angeles. And I thought, well, that's something. There is nothing that moves the needle more than kickoff times. I would say winning and losing, conference realignment, and kickoff times. Probably the top three subjects that can engage a fan base on social media. Right? Like that feels like the top three. Well, winning is good. Coming off of a bye week or a work week, as Coach Lanning would call it, also good. A lot of conversation about that after practice today. Dylan Gabriel, Keon Ware-Hudson, Noah Whittington chatted with us. We probably won't get to all of them on the show today. The Quack Video Crew has you covered on the Go Ducks YouTube, and we'll have them for you on Duck Insider throughout the week. Also today, head coach Dan Lanning, he met with the media in his weekly press conference. We'll get to that in a moment. Oregon Volleyball head coach Matt Ulmer is going to be with us. 8-match win streak for Coach Ulmer's team. And I will make sure to point that out before he gets to the studio. And then I got to decide over the next half an hour if I'm going to point it out when he's here in the studio, because I commented to him last week that, hey, you're on a 6-match winning streak, and he looked at me and just went, you're only results-oriented. And you know what? I say this all the time. The broadcaster sounds good when the team is good. Team's been really good. Go Ducks. Now, is there more to winning and losing? Yes. Kickoff times. Conference realignment. The other things, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, 8 matches straight. That's a big deal. So Matt Ulmer is going to join us because Big Ten play not only starts for Oregon football on the road this week, it also starts for Oregon Volleyball, a pair of matches at home that are good matchups. Hope to see a raucous environment. And I think that it will be because classes start next week. If you go ahead and cut to the wide camera if you could. Just look at the studio audience today. The internship program going strong. The Quack Video Crew is all here. Classes start next week. Are we excited? Yeah. Wow, that was like the perfect, yeah. But it means that everyone's back on campus, so I expect a great environment at Matthew Knight Arena. Week of welcome for the new freshmen that are on campus. It always leads to great crowds at Matthew Knight for Duck Volleyball. It also, I think, will lead to a great crowd when Michigan State is in town. Limited tickets still remain for Oregon football's first Big Ten home game against Michigan State next Friday. I think the student section is going to be very full, and I really look forward to that. Elsewhere today, with Rob Mullens joining us, the Oregon Athletic Director, we'll talk about Big Ten Conference season, what's to come. Also, I mentioned Matt Ulmer, and it's worth, too, saying that the Big Ten schedule just came out for Oregon softball. Men's golf is in action, all of that on the show. But you want to hear from Coach Lanning. Let's do that. It's brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Better cancer care close to home. Weekly press conference with head coach Dan Lanning kicks us off today.
Glad to be back playing football. Excited, obviously. First Big Ten matchup for us. Get the opportunity to travel to Rose Bowl, always an iconic place to play, and certainly a team that we're excited to go out there and play against so we can open it up.
Yeah, just starting with the bye week, why was it a success for your guys' operation?
Yeah, just ultimately we got better, right? You're looking for opportunities to get better, challenge your team, find areas for improvement, and I thought our guys did a good job of that.
As a Chiefs fan, you're obviously familiar with Eric Bieniemy and his offense. Do you have a relationship with him at all? And what do you think from him and what he's done at UCLA so far this year?
Yeah, obviously a great offensive mind. I don't have a relationship other than I know who he is and then the job that he's done for a really long time. Obviously a really successful coordinator for a reason. Was a successful player too. So it's been fun to watch what he's done in his career.
What have you seen from Ethan Garber so far in their limited sample, at least this season, and running that offense?
Yeah, I think he's very athletic. He's a guy that when he does scramble, he scrambles and looks to throw. I think that's something he's had some success in each of his games. I think he's getting more and more comfortable, but he throws a good ball. He's able to really attack his soft zone, really well, and is getting more and more comfortable in their system.
Surprise is the wrong word, but through three games, what's been something you've seen in this team that's been a pleasant surprise or excited you?
Just their willingness to work, right? Our guys come out here, work every single week. Sometimes like bye week can be a lull for teams. I thought our guys have attacked it with the proper approach of finding ways to continue to improve and get better. We talk about having a player-led team. I think that's really shown up for our guys over the last several weeks, and it certainly has shown up throughout the season so far.
You talked a lot about wanting to play clean, especially offensively. What leads you to have confidence that this will be 2 in a row where you guys will accomplish that?
Well, it's really about the body of work we do this week in practice. So it's got to show up in practice for it to show up in the games. But I think what's been proven is when we do play clean, we play well. So that's something we have to challenge ourselves to do, especially when you go on the road. There can be a loss of focus. That's something we have to maintain throughout the game.
There's some familiarity with both sides in terms of players. What value is there to either Dante's familiarity with them, at least in terms of personnel, if not some of their defensive scheme perhaps? And it's unusual to have an opponent with 5 former players, but BA obviously was here and knows a little bit defensive signals. What have you done to adapt and adjust to that familiarity?
It's been a while since either one of those guys were with, and there's new coaching staffs and some changes on both sides. So certainly there's some advantages. On the same note, I think there's a lot that's different. You look at both these teams. Both of us are called, game plan teams. We play different based on the opponent that we're playing each week. So you'll see some different wrinkles probably from their side as well as our side. So I don't know how much that'll carry over.
Stressed special teams a lot since getting here in 2021. Is there something different about this team that you think has led to so much success in that area this year?
No, I think they take a lot of pride in it. I think the execution has been a lot better. And, there were times in previous years where we're really close to having a big play and maybe we don't create it because we're one block away or one play away. I'll say this, whatever guys step on the field, all 11 of those guys have a clear focus on accomplishing their job for their team.
UCLA has had some struggles in the first couple of weeks, both offensively and defensively. What have you seen on film to where you can think you can take advantage of them in this weekend's matchup?
I don't know if I'll speak to that more than just speaking to a team that I think has been resilient. Is going into halftime, a tie game with LSU. They've been able to play in some tight battles and showing an ability to play with any team that they line up against. So certainly they've had areas where they can grow, and so have we. So I see it as a great challenge. A team that has some talent on their roster, some guys that play really well that we have to be aware of and ready to adapt to.
New leadership on their defense too. I'm curious on what they look like on film and kind of some things to talk about there, I guess.
Yeah, they do a good job of changing it up. The front moves a lot. A lot of a stem operation where they do a lot of different things with their defensive line. They line up in multiple fronts, so it can be 3 down, 4 down, do a good job disguising zone and making it look like man. So they'll pitch a lot of different things at you, and it's, at times can be hard to calm them down and figure out exactly what they're in. So we'll have to be really aware of what they are in, and then on the same note, have good answers for whatever that might be.
What's made Kane Medrano more disruptive for them so far this season?
When he pulls the trigger, he ends up, in the backfield quickly. He's got good stop and go. He's a knockback tackler, so he's able to get guys on the ground. But he shows up in special teams. It's kind of like the kind of guy when he plays with his hair on fire, when he's on the field.
You often talk about controlling the things that you can control. 8 p.m. kickoff, it's out of your hands. But what do you do to go through that long lull of a wait for a game that's pretty unusual?
What an opportunity. That means more time for us to prepare, more time for us to get ready. We're excited about the challenge and what that provides.
You talked about the value of Matt having this time and obviously the next week. How is he? I guess you're kind of in the middle of that. How is he in that process right now?
Yeah, he actually got dinged the other day in practice. So, just trying to be aware of where he's at. If he's, able to, help us this week, we will. But always we'll put our players first and see, where they're at in that process.
I wanted to get an update also on Jaleel Florence, just his process coming back, and at what point, if at all, does the possibility of a red shirt, given that it could be 4 games plus the postseason, when does that conversation begin?
Yeah, whenever it needs to happen. At this point, it doesn't need to happen. You get 4 games to play. Once Jaleel's ready, we'll be able to utilize him. But right now, he's not at that point yet.
A lot of attention nationally this past weekend, and where even Dylan got involved in terms of the conversation of how teams and programs and coaches go about team building, program building around the quarterback position, the value of quarterback experience versus youth in the development process. Can you explain a little bit of your philosophy so far of, yes, you brought in transfers at one with 2 years, one with 1 with 3, but also developing young guys and being able to make that work insofar as how you've done it so far and navigated that process so far?
Yeah, I just think that's part of the culture of our team. We talk about connections, a big piece of our team. Obviously, we want to be guys, a team that develops guys within our roster. I think you'll see a lot of guys playing for us on Saturday that have grown up in this program. But we always want to be competitive and make sure we have the best advantage when we step out there on the field on Saturday. So continue to find guys that can make our program better. And luckily, there's a lot of different roads to get here, but there's a lot of people who can make our team better, throughout that process.
I got to say, I really loved that answer to that question with modern college football, because it used to be that when we would sit here with teams or people like me that are around the teams and doing a show like this that talk about culture and growing that culture, a lot of times that would come from, yes, the players, but it was the longevity of a coaching staff, for example. I think about even here at Oregon, right? When I was in college, it was the coaching staff that had been here for decades in that case. And the culture that gets built in that scenario often comes from the coaches, and it's sort of maintained, and it's guys that get recruited as freshmen. You didn't have as much roster volatility at that point of college football. Now you do, and so building a team culture quickly, I think, is more paramount now than it ever has been. It's easy to sit and talk about culture and what that means, and it's different for everybody, but I just think that Dylan Gabriel has done a good job of that. You as a player nowadays, I think you have to be open to players transferring in, because to what Coach just said, you're going to have guys that grow up in the program as freshmen that become seniors. You're going to have guys that transfer in as fifth-year seniors that are big, impactful players, like Dylan Gabriel. Softball schedule is out. Oregon will host UCLA, Michigan, Michigan State, and Illinois as part of its 22-game Big Ten schedule released by the conference on Tuesday. Now, the entire Oregon softball schedule is still coming together, but we now know the matchups in the Big Ten slate. The Ducks will open Big Ten play at Washington March 14th through 16th. Oregon's conference home opener will be March 22nd against Illinois. The Illini will make their first visit to Jane Sanders Stadium for a 2-game series. There's actually a couple 2-game series for Duck softball with the way the Big Ten schedule fell for this season. Michigan visits Eugene for the first time in early April. Ducks also will visit Indiana in mid-April, and Oregon hosts UCLA April 18th through 20th and finish off April at Indiana in the end of the month, I should say. So the Ducks, I can't believe I'm saying this on September 24th. Looking forward to a Big Ten schedule at Washington, Illinois, at Rutgers, Michigan, at Minnesota, UCLA, at Indiana, Michigan State, and then the Big Ten tournament takes place in West Lafayette May 7th through 10th. The 2025 Big Ten tournament. How about that? Ducks hope to play a lot of games at Jane Sanders Stadium, particularly early in the season as that schedule continues to come together. Look forward to catching up with Coach Lombardi, but we're sitting here talking softball as the athletic director just walked into the Country Financial studio. Rob Mullens will be with us next. Come on back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's Athletic Director Tuesday in the Country Financial studio. You know, we've had Athletic Director Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday over the years. Rob Mullens is here, Oregon Athletic Director, joining us. We did that because you've been on multiple committees in your time. How many committees have you served on in your tenure as an administrator?
Oh, wow. Yeah, probably too many to name.
Is this like asking a quarterback how many interviews he's done in his life?
Yeah, and I've been at this a while, and so, and then, yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot.
Selection committees, I feel like, are one of the, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they're like a pinnacle of an administrator's career.
It is a pretty special experience. Getting to serve on the college football playoff committee was pretty remarkable when you think about the work and what it means. And the committee makeup was pretty spectacular.
Yeah. I remember talking to you about that because we obviously had like a front row seat to it, just being able to talk to you about it all the time. And then you do the interviews on ESPN every Tuesday, and I think you said the same thing most of the time.
Yeah,
right?
No, it's some of the friends that were on the committee and their family members would just always give me a hard time when we would gather at the end of the year. Body of work, yeah.
Body of work.
I'm sure we've talked about it on here. There was a bingo game in the AD suite, on popular phrases. So, yeah.
Well, hey, as a broadcaster, we all have catchphrases, or we all have crutch phrases, right? But sometimes it's a good description.
No, it is a good description, and when you're so many years into it, and it's a similar pattern and process, it is fitting.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. All right. Well, football season is officially rolling. Rob Mullens joining us. So, Big Ten conference opener.
Here we go.
Pretty exciting.
Very exciting. Obviously, good to be in LA. Obviously, we have a lot of student athletes from the area. We have a tremendous fan base in LA. It's always fun to be at the Rose Bowl. So, great place to do our Big Ten opener.
I was talking about that actually. So, my counterpart at UCLA, Josh Lewin, and I were talking today, and Indiana going to the Rose Bowl right? Like how special that was. And Indiana got the win.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sometimes guilty of this, Rob, and I'd be curious if you are at times too. Like, you lose track of how special some of these places are that you go to.
No doubt. And then, I mean, listen, I'm anxious to see the TV numbers. They're probably out. USC at Michigan at the Big House was a unique experience.
And a good game.
And a great game. And we're seeing some of that in some of these other leagues. But, yeah, we do have an opportunity to to visit some special venues, and obviously lots of wonderful memories in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I always say, Rob, starting out the season like this, broadcaster sounds good when the team is good, and the team has been good. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, it has been fun to watch. And football. Well, every sport's unique. It's you get 12 games, but the amount of time these student athletes spend in preparation to finally get to the games is pretty incredible. So it is fun to see the football team have success.
You were at practice today, and I'm always curious to ask people this. Like, I have a couple things that I just habitually look at from my time playing, and then even just being around. Do you have like a checklist when you come to practice?
Not really. I'm just there to be supportive. Really what happens is I end up in other side business conversations with either staff or guests that are at practice or scouts or somebody. I might be out there for 20 minutes, but the odds that I'm really watching practice for 20 minutes are pretty slim.
Yeah, and I should admit, there are periods that are more helpful for a broadcaster than others, right? When the Ducks are doing some team stuff, that's very helpful.
Very helpful.
And fun to be able to watch. So talking about just the football excitement, Rob, ticket sales and limited availability with single game tickets going on sale, that's been great to see.
It's been great. Obviously to sell out Idaho, sell out Boise State. It'll be fun to get the students in class and have our first game against Michigan State on a Friday night with the student body back and in school. So, yeah, Autzen makes a difference, and it'll be fun to have our Big Ten opponents visit for the first time.
Have you heard a lot of conversation from your colleagues about that? Hey, we're excited to come.
Oh, yeah. No, it's, hey, we're excited to get to the Pacific Northwest, and people that have done their research, going to try some Pinot and,
there it is.
So, yes, people are very excited. Just like our fans are excited to get to places that we haven't been. And our fan base in those regions are extremely excited.
I want to tell a story, Rob, that I think you'll appreciate on that exact front. One, I've said here before, when the news came, Georgie was very excited because Georgie was get to go to all these cathedrals of college football. And now Autzen, I think, in a lot of eyes is on that same level. And it was amazing, though, for me to hear from a couple Ducks in particular that were in Chicago. And they have sort of just championed this, these are the Midwest Ducks, right? To see the power of that, I don't know, just from a larger picture, we're seeing it.
We are seeing it, and we got a taste of it, when we went to Tennessee.
Right.
The East Coast Ducks showed up. When we went to UVA, the Duck presence was, obviously we were rolling, and the noise and the impact was felt. And so I expect we're going to see that at some other venues too, which will be fun.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens joining us on the football front too. Just a public service announcement. Those of you who are subscribed to Duck Mail, make sure that you vote in the USA Today poll about the best traditions in college sports. And if you're not subscribed to Duck Mail, then go to GoDucks.com and subscribe to Duck Mail. Rob, Shout is the best.
It is the best. And, when visitors come and see it, they're usually blown away.
Yeah. There are some great traditions. That's what college athletics is all about. The votes for Shout could go a long way. Now, I hope that this isn't one of those lists that's the best college town in whatever, because I don't know how these things get ranked.
Right. Yeah, the best steakhouse. Yeah. You read in the airplane magazine.
That's right. All right, we're going to get a quick time out. When we come back, volleyball season, tons of other things going on. Basketball is on the horizon. Rob Mullens is here. It's Athletic Director Tuesday. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear summer vacay, load up on fun in a new Toyota. Go off-road in the 4Runner, haul it all in the Tundra, play hard in the Tacoma, or take the scenic route in the all-new all-hybrid Camry. Visit Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you. On the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear summer vacay, load up on fun in a new Toyota. Go off-road in the 4Runner, haul it all in the Tundra, play hard in the Tacoma, or take the scenic route in the all-new all-hybrid Camry. Visit Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Ducks at UCLA coming up on Saturday, an 8 o'clock kickoff. Nothing moves the needle more, you've said this, than conference realignment and kickoff times. And then I'll say wins and losses, Rob. I think those are the three things.
That's true.
That engage the most. Kickoff times. Nobody has any opinions on them.
No, everybody agrees. It's interesting. We had this last year. We didn't have a night game until late in the year, and we were starting to get people like, when are we going to have a night game?
I know. Hey, if there's a place to have a night game, L.A. in September sounds nice.
It does sound nice. That'll be a pretty cool setting.
Yeah.
And obviously being on Fox broadcast is a nice reach.
And to that point, there's so much conversation, Rob, about media deals, and that's what conference realignment often is associated with. But the TV numbers for Oregon have been consistently great. I know that's something that you feel is an important piece. And then to build on that, having the opportunity to be on different networks. I don't know, to me, early on in the season, you can see why that's such a big deal in college sports.
You can. Obviously, that reach, it has so many impacts. Obviously, it drives the value, the finances, but it also, the exposure is incredible for recruiting, not only for athletics, but also for campus, and the opportunity for millions and millions of people to see our community, which is pretty spectacular.
It's the window into campus.
Yeah, no, it's a great marketing arm.
To that point, so week of welcome is this week for new freshmen on campus, and then classes start next week. And it's annually one of the biggest volleyball weekends because a lot of those freshmen are going to be there. There's 2 great matches this weekend. Head coach Matt Ulmer is going to join us coming up. But volleyball on an 8-match win streak, that's been fun to watch.
It has been fun to watch, and boy, were they were sharp on Sunday. Fun to be back in Matthew Knight Arena and see that. But, yeah, here we go. We're going to jump into the best volleyball conference in the country, and here's our chance to set the tone at Matthew Knight Arena this weekend.
Illinois, 7:30 on Friday for Oregon volleyball. That's one where, Rob, I think you're probably similar. Being on the road with football is awesome. Going to have a little bit of missing out FOMO.
No, we are, and we'll be hosting an event, and we'll have it on the side, so we'll be tracking it closely.
That's right. You talked too about volleyball. You mentioned the impact of that sport. I don't think I've had you on, Rob, since even things like the new floor.
Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it?
It does.
It looks awesome. Happy we were able to get that done. it shows well, and it's the student athletes certainly appreciate it.
And that's what I was just going to say, the impact, because it is a volleyball specific floor, right? Like that's a big deal for hosting, for all sorts of things.
Yeah, all sorts of things, and kudos to our arena staff who has figured out how to put it down, take it up, store it. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, so Les and team have done a fantastic job.
That's right. Soccer season is rolling as well. The Ducks have had a couple close ones, and I know Coach Abel every Monday when he comes on the show has had some thoughts, but it's been fun to see them.
It has been fun, making the road trip, obviously, getting a chance to play at College Park and win at Maryland. That was kind of bizarre for me. I worked at Maryland early in my career, and we began having some soccer success there. So some of the reconfiguration, their field is inside the track, and to see some of the stuff that we had implemented many, many years ago still in play was just kind of odd.
It's a little full circle for you.
It was full circle, but it was fun to close the circle with a win.
And I understand that I understand that the team went to the Pentagon.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know that. So, that's really cool.
Yeah. That was a tip from Ryan when he was talking to Coach Abel yesterday.
Oh, wow. That's what a great way to take advantage of that trip.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I mean, we talk so much about the travel, and yes, there are some challenges there, Rob, but also these new environments, not just for fans. I mean, it's everybody.
And that's if you're going to be in D.C. And flying out, why not take a chance to head down, and there's so much to see, but the Pentagon would be really cool.
Yeah. Also, both golf teams are officially underway with the fall schedule. And Rob, I say this all the time, like tennis and golf, they are so unique as collegiate sports in a lot of ways, and one of them is just the year-round aspect.
It is. Obviously the fall is extremely important. I mean, the spring is considered the championship season, but obviously you can position yourself in the rankings throughout the fall, and both of our coaches do a phenomenal job of playing a challenging schedule and testing ourselves, and when you play well, putting yourself in position to be highly ranked, which obviously helps in the regionals.
Cross-country season continues as well. Since we last had you on Pre's Trail, that never gets old.
That never gets old. Yeah, that's pretty special and unique to us.
Men's basketball, women's basketball schedules are out. I opened the show today talking about a softball schedule that the Big Ten released, but men's basketball and women's basketball schedules are out. I've already circled some dates. Sorry, Coach Altman. Sorry, Coach Graves. There's going to be some fun ones.
There are a lot of fun ones, and I think we're going to see a renewed energy in Matthew Knight Arena to welcome some of our Big Ten peers. It's fun to finally get to the games. We've been talking about this a long time. And it's fun to get to the games. The softball schedule's out today, which is a great schedule. So, again, excited to welcome our new conference peers to Eugene.
I asked you this about football, gosh, must have been now a month or two ago. Like, do you kind of feel an exhale, like, on when the Big Ten, it's official, like, after – because I know this had to be a tough saga at some
No,
place.
it was. Oh, yeah, it was a really tough saga. Obviously, there was a lot of emotion wrapped up in it, and, you're fighting for so long to keep something together, and then – when it becomes apparent that it's just, it's not going to help you get to where you want to go in the future, then you have to pivot and execute that in the right way. And so we landed in the right place. We have a very bright future. And, now we're getting to, like you said, we're, kind of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And, we're getting to the contests.
And there's always things to improve every
100%.
year. We'd be saying that if it wasn't a conference transition.
Exactly. No, we're always looking to tweak and improve and make sure that we're competing at the top.
Final thoughts for Rob Mullens. Women in Flight celebrating a 10-year anniversary. You have a smile on your face just as I say that.
Yeah, it's just hard to believe that it's been 10 years because I can remember the meetings, where we went and sat down with, where Dave and Nancy Petrone challenged us to come up with something innovative and unique. Obviously, they've been so supportive of our program. And then we went and pitched, this idea of a grassroots fundraising effort specific for women's sports. And Dave and Nancy loved it. Immediately gave us a lead gift that allowed us to staff it the right way, to approach it and make it big time. And then you just think back of the announcement when we announced what we were doing, and people were in tears. And to see the success that it's had, the leaders that have helped build it, and the impact that it's had on student athletes. That's why we're here. And you think back on 10 years and the impact all those who've contributed have made on the women's student athletes here at the University of Oregon, and how many of our peers have who've come to Eugene and said, "Show me how you did this," because it's pretty cool. And time has flown by. But then when you stop and reflect, you go, "Wow, it's had an impact on a lot of student athletes."
You know, I've said this to a few people in Women in Flight over the years. Like, imitation's the best form of flattery.
Yeah,
right.
no doubt.
And that's about as good as it gets.
It is as good as it gets. And when you think about something that was just, hey, we had a donor who was extremely passionate, extremely generous, who challenged us to think about something differently. And we went to work, and when that donor supported it, those donors supported it in the way that they did to give us a chance at success. So many other people shared that vision and jumped on board and just delivered.
Yeah, 10 years. It's
hard
pretty
to
cool.
believe.
It's pretty cool to think about. Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens, thank you, sir. Anything
Thanks.
we missed?
Appreciate it. Nope. Appreciate it. Here we go.
All right. See you in L.A.
Here we go.
All right. When we come back, Oregon Volleyball head coach Matt Ulmer is in the Country Financial studio. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Yes.
Woo!
I
You've
knew
been
you would.
so good to me.
I knew you would do it, Coach.
Hey,
Matt Ulmer is
Hey.
here. Look at.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good day.
It's a good
You know
day.
why it's gonna be a good day? Hold up your socks and sandals, sir.
Excuse me?
Look at these. So good.
The match the other day.
Welcome back.
I looked down the other day and Coach Rad had the socks with my faces on it. I was like, oh, gosh.
Yes, Coach Rad!
I thought those were all burnt. I thought we got rid
No,
of all
I
those.
have them. You know I still have mine.
No.
Yeah. And when you...
How often do you wear them?
Well, so actually, when you manned the T-shirt turret, Destroyer Duck, at a basketball game, thank you, by the way, for not aiming it just right at me and machine gunning me with all of the shirts.
I would never do that.
Okay. Thank you for not.
Sorry. They would never let me do that.
There it is.
Okay, there you go.
That was accurate. He walked over and handed me a shirt courtside. Very nice of you. Thank you.
Have you ever gotten one before?
No.
Yeah. So,
No,
I mean, I
never
feel
did.
like you go to most games.
I do.
So,
Yeah.
Averages, you should get one.
But it was very appreciated.
Good.
And so as a result, I knew you were doing it that day. I wore them that game.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll do that again.
You're so thoughtful.
So are you. This is weird.
Yeah.
We need to...
Let's move it along.
Can we restart? Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Coach, I said on the start that I didn't know for sure if I was going to bring this up to you, and you know what? I'm just going to bring it up. 8 straight matches. Feels good to win, doesn't it? See that? That was nice.
I thought we played well against Oregon State.
Yeah.
I thought we did a lot of really good things, and so that part was very encouraging, as we head into Big Ten play for the first time, But, I thought at Portland State on Wednesday was not our best moments, but again, learning lessons. And again, I thought we just applied so much pressure to Oregon State that they had a hard time, finding the floor.
I was going to ask you, from one match to another, like we talk on a Tuesday, right? And then Wednesday all the way to the weekend, and then we talk in. Like that's a big gap, I guess, for a normal season's slate. Learning things after a win, always good. Yeah. I just got the sense that practice had to be good, spirited, whatever words you want to use. This is just me looking at how the performance looked against Oregon State. Like, what did you see in between those two matches in practice?
Yeah, we had a day off after Portland State, which I think was good for everybody. And then we really got after it that next day. And I think the biggest thing is now that we're starting to figure out who we are, it's about raising our standard. Again, we have a lot of players that have never, played at the highest level that college sports has to offer, so learning what that actually means and, what they're going to have to do day in and day out, to achieve the goals that they have. I think, that's more of what I need to make sure I'm bringing to them in the practice, right, is really trying to elevate them and show them that they can do more. And so I thought that practice back, we did that. And I was just really proud of the way they responded. And I thought we came out against Oregon State really looking to compete for the first time, actually, I think all year, where it was like it wasn't about us anymore. It was about competing against the team on the other side. And so, maybe some of that's the rivalry. We had fans, a nice crowd, fans that but I thought we were just very out of our own heads and just really attack mindset the whole way through, and just really proud of them for that.
I've asked you about this before, like as a coach, can you kind of feel it at serve and pass? Like if it's I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, do you kind of know? At what point did you know? Like, oh, this is a good day today.
First play of the game.
Really? So you can tell, like, first serve.
They were just really dialed in, and again, just the communication level was different, I thought. And so we have just a ton of physicality on our team. So if we can get everybody moving in the right direction, like there's going to be some really fun days ahead of us.
Yeah.
It's just about, but the consistency piece for us is what we've been talking about. And again, I thought we were just really consistent from point one to the end.
Yeah. I think it's amazing to think too about like the movement as one is so important in a lot of sports, but particularly I feel like in your sport, that's the next consistent piece, I would imagine, right? Is the movement as one.
Yeah.
Chemistry.
So much of what we've lost the last few years has been our movement pieces, our ball control, right? The people that make things calm on our side of the net. And so I think you've just seen like the progression from our, first exhibition match to now of trying to stabilize our side of the net and, how to work together so that we are not as hesitant. But then, and then at what level do you have to put in work ethic? You have to be able to work hard, but you have to work hard in control. And so, you have to learn how to move your body. Again, our sport is really unique where we don't have, something to manipulate the ball. It's our bodies.
Yeah.
So if you're not in control of what your body is doing and the speed of which it's doing, then we're just going to kind of be a mess.
Yeah.
And so, again, the practices have been pretty intricate and focused. And, again, I think they've responded really well. And I think they've actually liked it, which I like when our teams like hard work, and they put in and they don't shy away from it or complain. And today was another really hard practice, and I thought, they looked even better today. So I feel really good about where we're going, where we're trending. Classes are going to start, and that will add a whole new piece. And then the Big Ten travel is going to start, and that'll be a whole piece. So, but as far as the test that we needed to pass thus far, we're doing it. And now we're going to learn a lot more this week.
Conference
Illinois and Indiana.
Yeah, conference play beginning this weekend at Matthew Knight Arena. And two-part question. Like, I feel like it's always kind of a check-in moment. At least, like I always seem to ask the check-in question, right? Like when conference play starts, but also because Oregon's a quarter school, when classes start. You know, like things do change. A check-in sounds like you like where your team's at.
Well, we have enough data now where I can look and kind of see who we are. you know, and so you can kind of look at some of your numbers and be like,
tinker accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you start to see what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, where we need to continue to grow. But a lot of places we're doing really well. There's a couple spots that, we can get better at. So recognizing them and then making those adjustments are big. And again, we're just about to go play a lot of really good volleyball teams. And hopefully our environment will be hostile for them. And then we're going to get hostile environments when we go on the road. And I think that's really exciting. And I think this group is ready for that challenge.
It's fun to sit here and talk, too, about those great environments and hoping that Matthew Knight Arena can be one of them. It was on Sunday, over 3,200 people there.
I asked Zach Lawson, and I think you probably did the homework, but I think it's probably our largest non-conference crowd that we've had.
You know, I didn't do the homework. But
you didn't?
But I think you're right.
I thought you would have been right on top of that.
No, sorry. What did Zach say?
He didn't either. Yeah, no.
Well, Zach, you and I both can just.
If he did, he just forgot to tell me. I mean, and I didn't ask him, so that's on me.
The only thing, how often, if ever, was there a non-conference matchup during Week of Welcome? Like, it would have always been a Pac-12 match, right?
Exactly.
So it has to be.
Yeah.
So
I feel like without having school in session, that was a really large crowd for us.
It's awesome.
Yeah, which is really neat. And part of that is we get to play the rivalry match then, because normally that would have been a conference.
And I know that was important to you to keep it going.
Yeah, I think so. And again, I think our response shows exactly why, and the fan support shows why.
Well, also there were a few accolades. One for a student athlete, but one for a head coach.
Yeah, forget the student athletes. Let's focus on me. There you go.
Let's start actually with Oni.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Okay. How about that? 2.17 blocks per set, 13 total blocks in 6 sets during a 2-0 week. That's good for
it's very good.
Oni Ofebu.
It's very good. She's really something. I mean, I've never seen anybody like her. I mean, I think the closest that I can think of is Chiaka Obagu, who is just with our national team.
Oh, wow.
In the middle, who was at Texas. But Oni, I think, is actually a little higher than her. And I just think she's really starting to come into her own, really starting to figure it out. Her connection with Chris and Robbie, both our setters, is really growing. And you can just see her confidence with each and every match. And she's expanding her range, but her block has really – it's neat that the first award she gets is a defensive
one, yeah.
award, because her offense, I think she's hitting over 500 on the season or something like that. It's like, which is just ridiculous. But she's really figuring out, what to look at on the block, starting to really understand her reads and, the moves that she needs to make. And it's just really fun to watch her do what she does.
I feel like
it's like when we had like the Nunnevillers and because it's like you don't want to take it for granted. Like you just really want to enjoy it. And, we only get Oni for the season, so I hope everybody can just really enjoy what she can do.
Well, I want to tell everybody, if I could, Coach, like a little bit behind the show, like off the air, you often would talk to us about, like, just in practice, like Oni, because last year was helping your team.
Yeah, just don't tell her that, okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
Don't let her know.
But
her ego is.
But fans didn't see it.
Right.
And now you're seeing it, and it's like, wow, that's something.
She's very impressive.
And how valuable was it for her to be with the team last year? I mean, and the reason I asked that today, like we were actually just today talking about how in college athletics now you have to build culture and chemistry so much faster than you've ever had to before with the transfer portal, I feel like.
I think, she was at UC Irvine before, and she was such an important part of their offense that they would do a lot of different things to get her involved. But I don't think the way that they it made complete sense for what they were doing. But I don't think the way that they use her is how she will be used next year when she's, when she's a professional and, and she's in these leagues. So I think it was important for her to get in our gym and see kind of what the style of play is going to look like. And then, now she gets a chance to really be a leader on our team, and she's a captain. And I sure hope it feels like Oregon has become, her school, not just a pit stop, but actually her school. And so I think it was really important. I think she learned a lot. And she told me just, sitting there last year or standing there cheering, you learn a lot from the sidelines. And so, that was an opportunity she would never normally get.
Right.
But with that COVID year, she was able to get that. I think she learned a lot, matured a lot. And then, and now she's showing off.
Also an accolade. Win number 150 for head coach Matt Ulmer. Now, worth noting to everybody again, the first career win ball is still sitting on the desk.
That's good.
It's a little dusty.
It's good.
I think it still looks great.
Thank you.
Matt Ulmer, first career win. 3-1 over Nebraska on August 25th, 2017. If you could tell Matt Ulmer something on August 25th, 2017, what would you tell him?
Oh. Lots of prayer in 2019. That's probably what I was saying.
Lots of prayer in 2019.
It's okay. You'll be okay. You'll get through it.
I just want everyone to know.
that was a great memory.
Yeah.
That match.
And it's a great memory for us because we have to think about you every time I look at it on the desk.
And you know that's why it's here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just so that it's right by you all the time.
I know. Always.
I actually think I should turn around so you could just see my name all the time.
Well, I wanted people to see your name.
Yeah, no, that's good.
You know,
Yeah,
so
that
we have
makes
it
sense.
facing
That's
the
true.
camera.
You can see it from there.
I also want everyone to know it's one of the proudest accomplishments when I actually make him speechless for a few seconds, and we did that today.
That's because all the things I was going to say, I couldn't
say. Yeah, I get it. Well,
I went through like 5 things. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that
I also
either.
just wanted to make sure that we celebrated in the right way for Coach Ulmer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could just take the mic for a minute, because see everybody, we've got some special confetti.
Okay.
This was no. So that's green and yellow confetti.
That's a lot of confetti
that I've collected over my
I feel
time.
like some of this is old confetti.
It is. So, confetti's hard to
I didn't know confetti could smell like mothballs.
Confetti's difficult to keep contained, as you can imagine.
That's true.
It did stick in your hair a little, sorry.
Okay, that's all right. That's really nice of you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, congratulations on number
Thank you.
150.
It wasn't water, so that's that's a plus. Or
Yeah.
Gatorade.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin the hair.
Yeah.
I thought the confetti
Thank
would
you.
be a nice
That was really
touch.
nice.
Yeah. Now
That's
cleaning
good.
it up.
I'll clean it up before I leave. I'll take care of it.
that's not your
No,
job.
that's okay.
That's my.
You're gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my doing.
Let's get a video of him cleaning that up.
We will.
Just want proof.
You're
Thank
joking,
you.
but like people like Scott and Alex who are here all the
Mm-hmm.
time, they know how neat and orderly and anal I am about such things.
Yeah.
Right, guys? Yeah. See,
Yeah.
they're all a little sad about that. I wanted to ask you.
Makes it fun to work with, right? Am I right?
Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Coach. Illinois Friday at 7:30. First 1,000 fans receive an Oregon Big Ten lanyard to mark the conference opener. And on Saturday, Oregon will host Indiana at 5:30. That will be the team's Stomp Out Cancer Night. Will also be preceded by a blood drive from 10 to 2 outside the arena near the Ford Alumni Center. A lot going on for Oregon volleyball. That's Big Ten conference opener.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Big weekend. It's exciting.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you. Illinois is very good, and so is Indiana. And I think it's just what the conference is going to be, right? Everybody we play is going to be a tournament quality team, and so we're really excited to open up with Illinois. So excited for the freshmen to be back and week of welcome. It's always one of my favorite matches of the year. We'll have the full Oregon marching band will be there.
Let's go.
So love that. They take up that whole side of the gym, and it's very loud. So everybody prepare accordingly, with parking and getting there on time. And, hopefully it's going to be a great crowd. I think it's a crowd that we could break our record.
Yeah, let's go.
I think so.
Again.
If everybody wants to show up from Oregon State, and then we add the freshmen, and we add more students back in town, teachers back in town, and the band, I think it could be a really enjoyable evening.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Gosh, I said this to Rob. I have pure FOMO.
Yeah.
I'll be traveling to UCLA with football.
Yeah. If we miss the record by 1,
it's my fault.
Then
Can you do me a favor and put my cardboard cutout out?
Flat Joey?
Yeah.
Do you have him?
Flat Joey out? Oh, you lost him?
Did I do that?
Mm.
Where is he?
Wow.
Flat Joey.
Flat Joey has left the earth apparently, huh, Coach?
I'm trying to remember where I think we put him like under, maybe behind our fridge in the office. It was I can't remember where. It's somewhere. I'll find him. That was a great picture of you, that Flat Joey.
Thank you. The hair was iconic.
Really something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
iconic is a word.
Matt Ulmer,
the
Oregon volleyball head coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Buddy.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh,
thanks.
I hope
Get
that
it
you
right.
enjoyed the confetti.
That was really sweet of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You got it finally out of your hair.
Good. No, but thank you.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
We're getting older.
We are.
That's what that means.
But you're winning fast.
Okay.
Again, tell him 2017 Coach Ulmer.
Yeah.
Coach, you're going to get to 150.
You're doing great.
There
Just
you go.
don't go on Joey's show. That's what I would tell him.
When we come back, wrapping up Duck Insider. Oregon Volleyball, Big Ten opener, 7:30 on Friday. We'll see you at Matthew Knight Arena. More coming on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Go Ducks.
Hey, Duck fans. At Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course. You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high. Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Matt Ulmer is still here, and I want everyone to know that I insisted that we're going to get the confetti. We're going to get it, and Coach Ulmer is still here. You hear this? He's still here getting all of the confetti.
He was going to make everybody else clean it up. I told you.
No! Unbelievable. Well, the fight song means that we're going to be done soon, even if Matt Ulmer isn't. Duck Volleyball. Big Ten conference opener this weekend. All right, tomorrow. I can still hear him picking up. Oh, my goodness. Tomorrow on the show, Dan Lanning, Oregon football head coach. You know, Matt Ulmer is one of a kind. Bye.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without Matt.